Africa doesn't own their own wealth. It's their wealth, but they don't own it. Western companies own the mines in Africa. They extract the minerals. They set the prices. They ensure that the wealth will never benefit the people whose wealth it truly is. I mean, look at Congo today. Congo produces 70% of the world's cobalt. That's the mineral that powers your smartphone, your laptop, your electric car. Without Congolese minerals, there's no Tesla, there's no Apple, there's no Samsung. Yet the people of Congo remain among the poorest people in the world. Why? Because their wealth is not theirs. It's stolen by Western corporations, by Western companies. The system is kept in place through war. The West doesn't want a stable and independent Congo. That's why they fund proxy wars, why they support rebel groups like M23. They use other African governments like Rwanda and Uganda to do their bidding, to keep Congo weak so that the wealth remains available for plunder. Wallahi, this is a grotesque injustice. It's a grotesque injustice that disgraces the whole world. Congo is a bleeding, open, gaping wound on this earth. Understand this, Africa will never be free until Congo is free. No matter how well any individual African country does, the continent as a whole will remain wounded, mortally wounded, so long as Congo is being plundered.
And hold on tight. Those same media, I said it today, Wherefore especially, Jeune Afrique courted us at the very beginning of 2022-2023. They went through several channels to approach us, to make us pay and clean up our image, as they say. We refused. They cannot deny it because we have the evidence with us. They sent people. That's how they operate. And many heads of state fall into their trap. They pay money every month for articles to be published to clean up their image. No, it's dangerous. They only live off that. You pay the money, they lie, they clean up your image. You refuse, they lie to destroy your image. But all of Africa must be informed. And if Africans want to progress, they must stop listening to these deceitful media. Because as long as you are there, listening to false information, it eventually becomes a reality. And it's very dangerous for us.
All right. I believe you listened. You heard everything. You listened to what Ibrahim Traore said and what this political analyst said about the resources of Africa. You heard him clearly. You know, like I said, Ibrahim Traore is fighting a very big fight. You see what this guy is doing? What he's doing, this thing that he's fighting now, is the reason why world turn blind eye to the issue of Biafra. The battle this guy is fighting now is neocolonialist battle. That is the fight the guy is fighting now. Have you seen the reason why when Joe Biden came into power, the Secretary of State Blinken, what's his name? Trump was in power, he included Nigeria in watch list that Christians are being persecuted, you know. But when Joe Biden came into power, the Secretary of State now went to Nigeria. Returning back to America, they now removed Nigeria name from a concerned or country of concern. Do you hear what Ibrahim Traore said? That these guys, they normally approached them. They even approached him with his government, that they got to pay some amount of money so that they will not project their image in a very bad form. Have you seen the reason why, despite all the human rights violation Nigeria is committing on daily basis? Have you seen the reason why all these giant media are not talking about it? Have you seen the reason why? That they are not reporting anything about it. They are being paid. They are being paid for that. Ibrahim Traore is fighting a very good fight for us, we Biafrans. So, because with this thing this guy is doing and his position is making concerning the the activities of these colonialists in Africa and how they hold Africa ransom and hostage. As he is exposing them, we got to be fighting our freedom bomber to bomber. As that pressure is coming from Ibrahim Traore, Niger, and Mali, these people who have cut off these colonialists from their nation, we ought to be firing our own. That we really want to liberate ourselves from Nigeria. The guy is doing a very good job that ought to enable us in this our fight for Biafra restoration, because he check the men that fought this very fight he's fighting now. The people that fought it, even from his country, even Thomas Sankara, whom everybody believed that reincarnated in this Ibrahim Traore, they buyed him because of what this Ibrahim Traore is doing now. The West buyed him because of this thing Ibrahim Traore is doing now. Because he dared the West. He dared these neocolonialists, Thomas Sankara, and lots of them. He dared them, and they buyed him. And they used enemy within to buy all those men that dared them. The guy is fighting a fight that ought to be a paved way for us, because the way the guy has dominated social media, world today is a global village. The way Ibrahim Traore is giving these guys, is following them bomber to bomber. It ought to be a very strong leverage for us. If we fail to get this Biafra now we cause them. Now we cause them. Because if you check, as Ibrahim Traore, the president of Mali, the Burkina Faso, president of Mali and the Niger, even Senegal has also joined. They've come together to expose these new colonialists that don't want to hear the name Biafra. If you remember what MNK said, he said that each time he goes to either US or meet any of these Western leaders and mention Biafra, they start walking away. Because they know that Biafra, people from this country, they are very, very intelligent. To them, they believe these are the people that will resist our imperialists or imperialism in Africa. That is what they believe. So they can't just give them freedom. Giving them freedom is like setting themselves up. That is why they don't want to hear the name Biafra. Because they believe that it's only this Biafra that will challenge them from Africa. That is why they don't want to hear the name Biafra. They are scared that we will expose them. What Ibrahim Traore is doing today with Niger president, head of state, military head of state, and that of Mali. What these guys are doing them today is why they are so afraid to grant us our freedom, knowing fully well that we are fighting a just cause, knowing fully well what Nigerian state is doing to us, but they decided to turn blind eyes just because they are afraid that what Ibrahim Traore is doing today, we will do it to them. But thank God that Ibrahim Traore has emerged and is exposing them. Now, if you see Macron, once you are looking at his face, you will know that that confidence is no longer there. It's no longer there. These guys have exposed France beyond repair. They've exposed them. They try to place sanction on them that no Air France should enter there, because all these Francophone countries, the major flight in that francophone country or these francophone colonial countries is Air France. Now placed sanction that no flight will enter there, as if to pain them. As they constantly say they are losing, they now lift the ban. 9 Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali now place sanctions, so they don't want to see them on their airspace again. If they see them there, they will blow, they will bring this aircraft down. Everything that France has to do with these 3 countries, they say no more to attend to Israel. And we all knew when military take over power in Niger, they were instigating the one called Tinubu and ECOWAS. Democratic, must return back. Burkina Faso say, we dare you people. Wanna try Niger. Mali join. Wanna try Niger. Before you know it, they went to meet Moscow. Now they are in strong partnership. They are strong allies of Moscow. Immediately they formed that strong ally with Moscow. Now France no say it don't over. Because if they mess up that place, they know the consequences. They know the consequences. So this guy is fighting a very good, just cause that will pave way for us. Because you see these guys, this West, there will be a time they will give up, they will hands off. Most of their political pundits, like this man, what this man said, he said the resources of Africa are not controlled by Africa. Do you see, is it Congo? Can you imagine that 75% of what mineral resources that is being used to produce all these smartphones, what was it called, PC, laptop and all those, they get it from Congo. But look at Congo. Just look at Congo. Look at Congo. They will only just put a puppet there who they will control as the president or the head of state. A puppet. And they will be giving that puppet money in the name of IMF. Look at Nigeria. These people have tied Nigeria with loan that Nigeria, I don't know, it takes the grace of God. They've tied them with loan. Because they know if they give them the loan, they will not use the loan to do any work. They will do what? They will steal the money and bank it in different countries in Europe and America. And anytime they start to resist them, they will do what? They will say, okay, they will open their case file, take them to ISIS and jail them. But do you see how Ibrahim Traore rejected the loan? Even when IMF was telling them, we are ready to give you loan, he rejected the loan because he knows that is the secret they are using to tie African leaders. Say that we don't need their loan. No. Even if they give you, you use it to execute project, they will still tell you, they will still formulate story that they never did so, you looted the money, you stole the money, you do this. So the best bet is not to collect it from them. That is what Ibrahim Traore did. Look at what he's doing, the miracle he's doing now, without collecting loan from IMF or World Bank. This guy is fighting a cause, fighting a fight that will help us. The reason why they don't want to listen, the reason why they don't want to use ear to hear Biafra, all this Western nation, is because if they grant us freedom, if we recognize us and will become an independent state, they know that it's only we, Biafrans, that are capable to challenge them. So because of this, they don't want to listen to all. Despite all the whole petitions, all the whole cry, all the whole graphic images we've shown them on what Nigeria is melting on Biafrans, they turn blind eyes just because of their interest in Nigeria and interest in Africa. Now Ibrahim Traore is challenging them, fighting them. And you've seen how they've tried several times to assassinate him, but all failed. All failed. All failed. So, if you truly want restoration of Biafra, I urge you because watching Ibrahim Traore videos will make you understand a lot of things. Why Biafrans will be complaining, saying, look at what Nigeria is doing us. Yet the West will turn blind eyes. Now you've seen that all these media, CNN, whatever, they normally approach all these African leaders, tell them, man, we know what you guys are doing. You have to pay us so that we will not project you in a very negative way in the world. And they are paying them. They approached his government. He said, no, we are not going to pay you people. He even said they cannot deny it, that they have the evidence. Do you see why the Western media are not reporting the massacre going on in Biafra land? Do you see why they don't report it? Do you see? That is why I said, West is good, but we have to cast our net upon many waters. Because we have Western Bloc and have Eastern Bloc. And with the look of things, the backbone of Ibrahim Traore and this Sahel country is the Eastern Bloc, which Moscow is heading. Had it been, they don't have Moscow behind them, the rest would have been history. But Moscow is backing them. And Moscow, if you follow this Ukraine-Russia war, you will see how world politics is being played. Do you see how they gang NATO, this Western country, even this Finland? Do you see, even when they are calling for peace talk, the president of Finland is hell-bent in supporting Russia. Hell-bent in supporting Ukraine. Sorry, I beg your pardon. He's hell-bent in supporting Ukraine. Even when they are calling for ceasefire, supporting. And this Finland is this part of the Western country. You know, these guys, you cannot take it away from them. They are capitalist-minded people. Capitalist-minded people. There are some of their business mogul who have one or two companies in Africa. Like, is it Mobile, Textile Mobile or wherever? The company is owned by Rockefeller family. And everybody knows Rockefeller family and the influence they wear in America and in American politics and in the world. They are the people that have this Mobile, Textile Mobile. And we have it in Nigeria. You know, in other words, Rockefeller family have interest in Nigeria. The only way, to me, the only way is that as we are looking towards the West, expecting miracle, we should also look towards the East. Because I believe we have a good cause, we have a good case. If we can meet Moscow, tell Moscow, the reason why Britain, the reason why Britain is challenging Moscow is because of Nigeria. the resources, the fact Nigeria is like their enterprise. If you want to hit them, if you want to hit Britain hard, just unplug what have from Nigeria. Open on Nigeria, all over. Into another, you see how Burkina Faso so France now Bahari. Leave you me. Eh? I wanna if Moscow back us, because Moscow is ready. Is ready because this Britain is gonna have tough time, starting from Cold War. If Moscow decided to do one or two magic for us, forget about it. Anytime people who are leading this Biafra restoration decide to turn eye to Moscow and Britain, see that these are the frontline people leading this Biafra agitation, and they have turned their eyes towards Moscow. Believe you me, they will call for referendum ASAP, because they know if Moscow gets involved fully, they will lose out completely. They will, as they lost in Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, even Senegal, as they've lost, as France have lost completely in these countries I mentioned now. So we Britain lose if we decided to turn our eyes towards Moscow, and that Moscow decide to do what to help us. They will call Nigeria conduct referendum, so that while we are going our separate ways, they will see if there is something they can still hold. Maybe they will beg Biafrans. I beg, no will still they manage this one, no will still use this one hold our side. They will not make the mistake France made, because France have lost everything. They have lost it completely from this country I mentioned now. I greet you all, genuine Biafrans, peace and love.